Cookie here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
Oh, we got to start over. I hit record, but I didn't hit. Yeah, see, this is actually our second time doing this because I hit record so I can get levels on the recorder.
You missed the
We
good
weren't
stuff.
actually recording. Yeah, so I'll just, I'll just give the phone number again, 402-403-9478. You can't put magic in a bottle twice.
That's
whatever.
kind of not the same.
We were talking about how how things that you either don't like or whatever, or that are boring to you, last forever. Dancing with the Stars, for example, seems like it's been going on for months. Husker football flies by.
Yeah, it started. The reason why we started this conversation, I think, let me think here. Why did we start this? It doesn't matter. Is that I was like, God, what week are they on? They got to be about done, don't they? And I'd seen a story that said something about James Vanderbeek will not be competing in the dance-off. I was like, God, in the dance-off, like the last thing they do? And I get to look in, and nope, they're not even close. They started in September. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 have been eliminated. 1 withdrew. So 4 weeks so far. So we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people are still in it.
Jeez.
And one of them that's still in it and has people in a twist is Sean Spicer.
Hey man, it's all about your fan base. It's all about people and maybe it could be people that hate him and want to keep embarrassing him, so keep him on there. Whatever it is, he's getting the votes.
He is, and a lot of people are demanding recounts and are wanting to look into
chads.
the system. And because they're saying that he's gaming the system. It has to be he's cheating.
Like why? What?
And
for
everybody
what
gets
reason?
20 votes. I mean,
like,
let's just do the presidential election now. Everybody gets 20 votes. Call in as many times as
so
you
dumb.
want. But it's hilarious to me because it's not real.
No, and just the fact that you said there's a dance-off, and they're like, we're debating who's going to be dancing in the dance-off.
James Vanderbeek and his partner, Emma, are apparently leading, and they've decided because they're leading, they're given the option to not compete in the dance-off.
I wouldn't do it. You could hurt your ankle. You could get injured.
That's taken a little too serious.
I'm just saying, for them not even to do it takes it a little too seriously.
They're going to do one. There's 2 dances. They're only going to do 1 dance.
I don't blame them. You're leading.
Oh, come on.
You're leading. Why? What's the point? If you get a buy, so if you get a buy in a
mirror
tournament
trophy.
If you get a buy, I know, I agree.
There's a girl crying backstage because she got eliminated.
If you get
last week.
if you get a buy in a tournament, should you say, nah, I want to play anyway. Let's round up another team and just play.
Because that's a real competition.
Right.
This is voted on by obviously a bunch of trolls.
Phone robots
that are wanting to mess with everybody's head. and just game the system completely. It's hilarious because this has caused more headlines than the show itself.
Right. It's so ridiculous.
So you still have Lauren Elena, Allie Brooke. Do you know who she is?
Yeah. No.
Allie Brooke is a singer. Okay. She was part of Fifth Harmony.
Oh, right.
Ah, okay. So Allie Brooke is still on there. Hannah Brown, Bachelorette. I only know that because I saw a headline.
Annoying AF.
Kel Mitchell, actor and comedian. Sean and Vanderbeek are still in it. So we'll see if he can go another round.
That won't last much longer.
They better hope he does.
It won't,
because the headlines will go away.
Well, the show won't last much longer. Maybe a couple more seasons, it'll go away, and then I don't know. It's
Kate's still on
out.
too. Kate Flannery from The Office. Kate's still on.
Oh,
there
is
too.
she?
Yeah. So that's good. But yeah, they've had some surprises. I think seeing Mary Wilson went away was the first one, eliminated Ray Lewis. Lamar Odom stayed for a couple weeks. He was a second on because somebody else dropped out.
The epitome of dancing on borrowed time, right? Old Lamar.
The not Dancing with a Star. Uh-huh. Sailor Brinkley was eliminated. That was a shock. I think everybody that got eliminated before anybody gets eliminated before Sean Spicer is a shock.
Yeah, well,
and it's just killing them. It's tearing them up inside. Another headline too this week saw Lori Loughlin has hit rock bottom. I think she's seeing the writing on the wall.
I think she should have hit this point a long time ago, but she got some bad legal advice, I believe.
I think so, and I think it just points to the bubble that they talk about, and now we can see it coming to life, that she really, really, really thought she's untouchable. I really do think that they all of them that pled not guilty, and there's not very many of them left that did. Most of them, like Felicity Huffman, have gone, okay, get this done. She went in for her 14 days, by the way, and only did 12. Just going to say, but in the $15,000. Come on. She got 2 weeks away from the family.
I think people that, and not to completely generalize, but I'm going to generalize that there is, I don't know if you can have just like shades of narcissism as part of your personality, or if you are or you aren't. But I think people in that industry at that level, I think you can't get, I'm not going to say you can't get, but it's harder to get to that level of success, rich, whatever it is, without a little bit of narcissism in your blood. And I think that once you get fed that a little bit, it grows and grows and grows.
Right.
Even people that aren't famous and rich, people that are just successful, like normal people that we all know, think they're untouchable on certain things. Kids, what was that? What was that defense a couple years ago? This kid, something happened to him, and it was like a affluent something.
Yeah,
where,
affluenza.
Yeah, affluenza. Where that's like in their minds, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't think it's for somebody that is like for that kid. I think affluenza in quotes is legit. Like he doesn't know what reality is.
He really thinks you can hire somebody who can get you out of anything.
And these guys all the same way in this.
And we're finding that, when we watch the TV show, The Fixer, Olivia Pope.
Oh yeah.
That's based on a real person.
Scandal.
That's based on a real person. So there are people out there that are fixers, but not fixers in the light of day. So when you have a scandal like this, and it hit, and it got all the headlines, and everybody's shining a light on it, and then a couple of famous names pop up, and there were some other people that are even bigger heavy hitters than these two actresses.
Just don't know them, yeah.
They're CEOs of big corporations, and they are actually in their circle much bigger fish than these two. But these two are so well known face value, and they're both on top of it.
Yeah,
golden girls. They're both like the sweethearts. They're both. They do no wrong. I mean, they're just good. It's like Valerie Bertinelli. You don't have imagine her doing. She's never going to be a serial killer in a movie. If she is, that'd be really good.
Well, that's what we all thought too about. And I don't think we all thought this, but it's coming to light more that the fixer thing situation.
Yeah.
I mean, in Washington, with politicians are the worst at being able to buy, sell, trade their way out of anything. And we're finding out now. We're pulling the. What do you pull back when you expose things? Covers, sheets.
Sure.
We're pulling back the lies, whatever. And we're
uncovering.
I don't know. Pull back
uncovering all the dirt balls that are under the rug.
There we go.
Right.
That's what it is. And we're finding out that that's what everybody that we're learning about now had somebody that would help them get out of situations,
or had somebody that was compromised to the point where they had to help them.
Yeah.
Because they had something on somebody, and I think there's a lot of somebodies that have something on somebody's. There's a lot of somebodies that are had. And they're just as upset
that would
too
be the
about
title of
this.
today's podcast if I could remember what that. There are a lot of somebodies that have something on somebody.
Yeah.
All right, I'll remember that.
We'll
That's
play it
twisted.
back if you have trouble. But I think that the Lori Loughlin, because just last week she got hit with an additional bribery charge, she and her husband, and now terrified. So the new charges are adding into the bribing of the University of Southern California employees to get their daughter admitted in exchange for the bribes. Then, of course, the coaches and the officials allegedly designated the kids as athletes.
I mean, right there is where that level of narcissism plays in, where you can twist your mind enough to make it okay that you're going to get your daughter, whoever, into school because they are a rower and they've never been on a boat.
And see,
like
that's
that,
the
and they
weird
think
part.
that's cool. That's cool.
They don't even need to. It was a matter of admissions that they were trying to avoid the possibility of not gaining admission. It's not even the scholarship is necessary. It's not
They
even
just wanted
like
to get in.
They were just getting in for 10, 15, 50,000, whatever. But they face a maximum right now of up to 45 years in prison.
They probably won't spend a day in jail.
They paid over $500,000.
So they may spend a day in jail
to a fake charity.
Yeah.
And they knew it was fake. So over a half a million.
that's not-
That's not Felicity Huffman chump change.
Yeah,
And she went to prison for 2 weeks. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That is just nuts. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, next court date is November 20th.
Kugler Vision supports our podcast. We
Yes.
appreciate that. They were one of the first ones on. They were the
They were the first
one on. So thank you very much, Kugler
And
Vision.
as a matter of fact, they've been exclusively our supporter
That's true.
of our podcast, and really appreciate that. Honestly, couldn't be happier to be involved with anybody because, the success stories are far and wide. And there are people that come to Omaha specifically to see Kugler Vision when they're talking about any kind of procedures on your eyes. I mean, for anybody, when you think about doing anything with your eyes, that's serious stuff. And you want the best. And they are the best. They are the only one in Nebraska that offers all 7 procedures that are available, determined by a series of tests, what would be the best option to correct your vision. And if you're wanting to ditch your glasses or you're tired of the contacts, I personally can't think of a better place to go. And I know what it feels like to have that procedure done and be done with glasses and contacts.
It's such a huge relief. So KuglerVision.com, you schedule your consultation, and then when it does come up, hey, where'd you hear about Kugler Vision? Mention the Pat and JT podcast. We'd appreciate that. They'd appreciate that.
Absolutely. The biggest blow up on social media that I saw, and we got to get back because we got to go back and circle back to what happened on a previous episode of the show. Also, that has to do with your wife, because I love the comments. It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But the biggest thing that happened on, this week, we'll just say anyway, it doesn't matter what day it was, but the president retweeted a painfully obvious Photoshop dog.
I mean, we probably have all seen it by now.
It was just, the caption was American Hero, and it looked like he was putting a medal on the dog. And it got to the point, this is so hilarious. There was one reporter, his name is Steve Herman. And I'd never heard of him before, but I saw his tweets because he was getting retweeted abundantly.
Yeah.
Repeatedly retweeted. He's thinking, oh my God, I hit the jack. Oh God, no. Like, a lot of people were just saying, I'm sorry this is happening to you. Anyway, he wrote, I've requested details from the White House on this photo. There was no such canine event on today's POTUS schedule, but there is a Medal of Honor ceremony set for later today with an active duty Green Beret. That was picked up by the New York Times.
He actually called the World Herald. He actually called the White House.
To double check the schedule, because he had the POTUS schedule to double check, and there was no ceremony on the schedule today.
Oh, because I thought there was. I mean, by looking at that press picture.
And so then his serious investigation was picked up by the New York Times. And they declared Wednesday in a hard-charging report, the President Trump on Wednesday shared an altered photograph of himself placing a medal around the neck of the dog injured in the raid last weekend. The image, which bears a watermark for a social media account, is altered and is actually the original. The original is actually a 2017 Associated Press photograph where a Medal of Honor nominee, James McClown, whatever, he was retired Army.
So it's like
he was an Army hero, and so they called the hero.
So they're trying to out the president or somebody.
They're just like aghast that somebody memed.
Oh my God! And they called the hero.
73 years old. They called him and he said, "Well, it just kind of looks like he's trying to include the dog in the team." Not offended, laughed when he compared the two images, and then they reported that.
Oh my gosh!
It's like, you don't get it, do you?
Not everybody gets mad and offended at things so quickly, where they're just triggered at everything.
That's just hilarious.
I mean, obviously, one blush, one look at that picture, and I saw it yesterday on the president's tweet. I saw it go through, and I didn't even register that was ever even attempted.
Thousands liked it. Thousands liked, because it was like, yes, it was just
because we get the symbolism behind it,
right. In your heart of hearts, you're like, yes, that dog deserves it. Because that's something, and I'm not sure 110% about this, but some stuff that I read yesterday is that dogs are not considered troops. I thought they were, but they're still considered equipment.
Oh, okay.
And there are people, I think, that are trying to get that changed, and maybe people know more about that. Well, I'm sure there are a lot of people probably know more about that than I do, but I had seen that and I was kind of like, whoa. I thought they were troops and that they could get awards. But I guess maybe that's in the police department. It's different.
Yeah, it must be.
Because I think in the police department, they
canine
did say
officer,
one thing,
they say,
right?
Yeah.
And in the Army, or in the Army, just in the service in general, the dogs, though, usually have a higher rank than their handler for a specific purpose, because it's up to the handler to protect.
Oh, sure. That's interesting.
The higher rank. But I'd be interested to find out more about that. So somebody that's in the service that can explain that, how that's done. But that dog has been invited to the White House. Of course, but and she, her name is Conan.
Okay,
but there was some confusion on that, because I'm looking at the picture. I'm like, that is not a boy dog. I'm not going to point out the obvious because I don't want to be the New York Times. But That's not boy dog. And they're all going, oh, what a good boy. Such a good. I'm like, it's not a boy dog.
Well, you know what? Let it ride.
That's okay. We'll just leave it alone. So anyway, and then one of the other memes that came out, a couple others came out, and there was one of, you had the congressperson who has been catching some headlines because she was snapped in a picture naked brushing her assistant's hair.
Which is the weirdest, creepiest looking thing.
And there's a lot of people that are upset about it. But like somebody else said, I trust you. Trust me on this. If Mitch McConnell was sitting there naked brushing his assistant's hair, you would have published all the pictures.
Oh, I would look at that. That would be awesome.
I couldn't.
If there is a picture,
no.
if there's a picture out there anywhere of Mitch McConnell naked brushing anybody, doing anything, please, that would be awesome.
Please no. Please no, don't do that.
That would be fantastic.
So anyway, be watching for those if you get a chance. I'm so tempted. I did a quick search on fake dog pictures. And there's hilarious pictures of like the little dog that has the eyebrows painted on.
Yeah.
And some others that are,
you should just post them.
I don't know. I think we just put them
dog
on there. Send them to
pictures
the
are a big
Times
thing.
because apparently they don't realize.
Right. And you might get a call from the reporter to see if it's real. Okay, so update on what happened with Beth the other day. It was on Facebook Marketplace, going back with a person on an office chair, and the pictures are on our Facebook page now of the screenshots of the conversation. And in the description, it just said, you can sit here all day and fart throughout whatever.
It was
carelessly. And it was like said kind of funny, like ha ha ha, but still weird in a description, but it's like whatever. And then she asked if it was available. She's interested. And the lady said, yeah, if there's somebody in front of you, but if not, if they don't pick it up, I'll let you know. Will you fart in it all day, basically? And Beth wrote back and like, what? Oh, she goes, I missed that in the description. Ha ha ha. That's it. And the lady said, ha ha, yeah, for sure. But seriously, would you? And like that was the end of the conversation.
Okay, I got to give her this. It is a weird conversation. And
Very
somebody
weird.
even pointed out, hey, she's honest. I'm like, okay, that's true. But maybe takes it a little too far. And some people sometimes do that. But she did have a serious laughing face after she said, but would you?
Right. But like, why would you, because if it's like a joke, like whimsical, ha ha, why would you be like, oh, by the way, ha ha. But seriously, would you fart?
See, don't you know
So
people?
weird.
I know those people though that they'll just take it one step further. It's like, okay, it's over.
Right. That person, girl,
It's
was
done.
probably.
I know you outed her name too.
Heck yeah. It was just her first name. It was just her first name. If it was her last name, I wouldn't have. But yeah.
Okay, that's funny though.
Yeah.
It was
So
very good.
the comments are awesome.
Yeah, very funny.
Yeah.
And then update on cat dog situation. So Bella found her way to my closet, so she's wandering the house a little bit more.
That's good.
Dexter wanders around all the time. He'll wander, like I'll be in the kitchen, sit in the kitchen table, and he'll come around the corner and just sit in the doorway and just stare at me. He's like 6 feet away
Trying
from
to figure
me.
out what you're doing. What's up?
Just looking at me. And then he'll walk right by me. He doesn't even, as long as I don't move, he walks right by and then stops about 5 feet over here. And then he'll stop and he'll turn around and look at me. Then he'll walk on a little bit further. He wanted to get up on the counter, so we had to no. And he didn't like that. So I know he's doing it right now. But
no means as soon as this crazy lady leaves, my ass is up on the counter.
Right. And so I didn't see Bella all day yesterday. I go upstairs to go to bed. And all of a sudden I hear scurrying. Like, oh, she's in the closet. So tile floor.
Oh, yeah.
She's scurrying. Oh, my God. She's like, how do I get out of here? I can't get, there's no door out of here. There's only one way in. And then she sat down. She didn't do anything. She was just sitting there. And I walked up to her. I sat down on the floor and I was just kind of petting her just a little bit. Everything was great. Went to pick her up and she scratched me.
Oh, man.
And she didn't even run off. She just like jumped over, stopped, looked back at me, kind of thumbed her nose at me and then out the door.
You just talked about people that take it one step too far. You're one of those people with cats. You took it one step too far.
I got to wait for her to come to me.
You're that 13-year-old.
Like the Horse Whisperer. You ever seen that?
Yes, great
on the
movie.
Horse Whisperer, right? You've got to wait for them to come to you.
You're
I gotta turn
you're
my
that
back to her.
15-year-old on a fourth date and you tried to grab a boob and you got slapped. Pop!
That's terrible.
Took it too far.
That sounds a little too realistic, Pat.
It was more like 19, unfortunately.
Okay. But I got to do my horse whispering on her and just kind of like, I got to wait for her to come to me.
It's hard. It's
That is.
hard, especially for, I don't.
She's so floofy.
Yeah.
She's got that long,
Like you wanna hug her.
fuzzy, beautiful gray hair that I want to fuzzy.
Yeah. You'll
Can't.
eventually just got to pump the brakes. Otherwise, you're going to ruin it. Got that anxiety. I know.
I'll just leave it alone.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Pump the brakes.
Okay.
All right, 402-403-9478. Text us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's Pat and JT.
Pat and JT Podcast. A Parkville Media Production.